Sixth game in a row at the end of the year, and it showed, I thought, in the first half. We looked kind of tired and a little bit lethargic, but I do give Wisconsin credit for playing with a lot of energy. Went in at halftime. What's always worked for me in these situations, and worked today again, is instead of going in there and kind of rip snorting at halftime, just telling everybody to take a deep breath, relax, have fun, go out there, play one play at a time. I thought we played a good second half. And we had a lot of great individual performances. It's our 11th win in a row, one more than last year, one more than this staff had the year prior to that. But it'd be great to enter an off week now and get the players some rest. The coaches too, really, the assistant coaches. I may need even adjust what I normally do. We don't do much on off weeks. Just stay sharp, but we need some rest. We got to get some guys back. Got a lot of guys out there playing that are banged up, and we got to get healed up as good as possible. Questions?
He's on your left and Zach.
Curt, when you took over, you talked about making Memorial Stadium a more formal place to play. How important has that been to your transformation of the program? I mean, once your second straight season where you're playing undefeated at home, how important is that?
Oh, I think our crowd, our fans are the best in America. I mean, I know everybody says that's got it going and packs the house, but I love our fans. I know where we started and where we are now, and they are over the top, and I can't say enough good things about them, and we feed off of their energy. I really think that us playing at home is at least a 14-point advantage.
Zach on your left and Red.
Thanks. Curt, number one, just kind of what's up with Mikhail? It seemed like he started and then maybe had to come out for something kind of injury-wise. And then number two, you talk about the bye, especially in a season where, guys are going to understand what you're chasing at 11-0. How much is the mental rest as much as the physical rest?
Yeah, I think it's huge. And Mikhail, or Kamara's been dealing with, kind of a shoulder nerve stinger issue, which is pretty common for a football player. Those things tend to show up a lot more this time of year. Combination of all the banging. I mean, we have 7, 8 guys in that same boat. But Kamara's have been a lingering issue. He's another guy that needs rest, needs to get away.
Rabbi on your left and Pete.
Yeah, obviously Fernando Mendoza, Heisman Mendoza, as everybody's calling him, sets the record. Touchdowns in a single season. What's your thoughts on him getting to that level?
I can't say enough about the job that he's done in terms of dedicating himself, to the process of improvement, and that Chandler Whitmer's done also to help accelerate his development. He's come such a long way since we got him from Cal, but I still think that he's barely scratched the surface of his potential. I think that's that much of him. And, he's a little bit new to the position, really, when you look at him and his background and growing up in terms of his opportunities to get snaps in whether it was junior high or high school even. I thought he was great today, 22 of 24, 4 touchdowns, broke the school record, touchdown passes 30. And, he'll, of course, that's a team effort, it doesn't happen all by yourself. But I thought he was very poised, yeah.
Pete up top and Sammy.
Yeah, Curt, can you talk about the execution on both sides of the ball? We had one penalty, no turnovers. With that type of execution, sustained.
Yeah, and I think we're number one in the country in turnover ratio, if I'm not mistaken, which lead to points. It's huge. Penalties to an absolute minimum. 130 is our goal on offense, defense, and special teams. Now, they only had one also. So, look at the tape, and you never know. We may have our hands outside every other play. But, we talk about that a lot. Before you win a game, you can't lose a game. How do you lose a game? You lose a game by turning the ball over, pre-snap penalties, undisciplined penalties, right? And like 4th down, for instance, today. You think I like punting the ball 4th and 1, 4th and 3, in minus territory? I didn't like it at all. But, The way that game was going today in the first half, the only way you lose that game is if you start to do things that are not good football decisions, and they backfire on you because they weren't going to score that many points on us. But I've been proud of our team all year long in terms of the discipline, and we gotta keep it going.
Sammy up top to Matt.
Coach, you talked last week that you kind of let Penn State hang around. Was there a point in this game, especially after the fumbles, you stepped on their neck and started to put them out of striking distance?
Yeah, I thought the second half was really clean. Final score is 31-7, 10-7 at halftime. So we won the second half 21-0. It was a little bit of a different first half, for sure. I don't think anybody was really satisfied. And it is one of the things I talked to the team about this week and before the game was playing 4 quarters because I didn't feel like we did that the week prior.
Matt on your left and Doug.
Coach, you just mentioned the offense was much more effective in the second half. In the first half, were they doing things that maybe you didn't expect, or was it more about execution, or what changes did you guys make at halftime to kind of get it going?
Well, I think sometimes it's just the momentum of the game. Like they get the ball first, and they haven't been scoring a lot of points, but they go on an 8-minute drive, they convert a couple third downs, and you just don't have that many opportunities. And then all of a sudden, in the second half, we get the opening drive and we go down and score a touchdown, and the place is rocking. We're getting the momentum, and next thing you know, we're getting a turnover on defense, great field position, another touchdown. Sometimes momentum plays and circumstances of the game play a lot into it rather than the X's and O's. I mean, you may run the same play in the second half that 3 times that you ran 3 times in the first half not so well, and you do it better in the second half just because guys are doing their job and doing it better.
Doug on your left and Zach B.
Curt over here. You said instead of going into half and ripping them a little bit, you eased up a little bit. I don't think you're being sarcastic, but is that a lesson that you've had to learn throughout your career?
It's just something that worked for me early. I think my second year at IUP D2. I remember we were playing a team I think that had set the record for losses in a row, and this team was 12-1 at the end of the regular season. Really good football team that I had, and at home 7-7 halftime. That was just hit me, and I've done that ever since. It's always worked.
Zach B on your right and Jim.
Coach, this core group of seniors that's played such a big role over the last 2 years, how bittersweet was it to see them play their potentially last game as an IU player here in this building?
Yeah, it's hard for me to look at it that way because we all understand, what we've accomplished together and what's down the road. And we don't know for a fact that it is our last game here at home. We hope it is. It's kind of weird to say, I get it. We'll see what happens. I mean, we've got a rival game coming up in 2 weeks, and then hopefully, we'll see what happens after that.
Jim on your left and over there.
Curt, today when the Wisconsin player got hurt, was down for quite a while, you gathered your entire team around. What were you saying to the entire team at that moment?
That's another one that I've learned from through the years. Had a couple of those. And the great news is this particular individual has feelings in his extremities, right? They're going to continue the tests. But I had a couple football teams that had big leads and were in that same situation, and after that ended up losing. And they happened later in the game too, late in the game. It's hard there because you're not trying to be callous. You're not separating the football from the human element. And we prayed. First thing we did was we took a knee and we prayed. And then, we kind of refocused everybody for the game. It was great to hear the positive news up to this point on that individual running back from Maryland.
Coach,
On your right, last one.
Coach, you promised a winning program. Bigger picture here, you've turned this town from a basketball town into a football town. What does that mean to you and your players?
Well, I don't know if it's like a football town or a basketball town to a football town. You know, I don't know what it is, but like this staff, a lot of us have been together a long time, and, you know, we've got a pretty good track record, and we just came here and the same things kind of happened, even more so. I think it's got everybody's attention because it's a bigger stage. You know, I think I mentioned this last week, is when you look at my journey and all the things and the changes in college football, it all kind of came together. Like the transfer portal, you know, this doesn't happen 10 years ago. You know, the big reason this happens is because we're in free agency right now. And a big part of my training was not only coaching, but being a GM or recruiting coordinator, evaluator. And so, you know, it's really hard for me to step back sometimes and think about what we've accomplished here. But it takes people, the right coaches and the right players in the locker room, properly led, and to have a blueprint plan, standards, expectations, and just improve daily and create the right mindset. We've been fortunate to have great people, and, you know, the head coach and the quarterback get too much credit and too much blame, but it's been fun, and let's have more fun.
All right, thanks.